Mic check 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what it is, man. This your boy Tank be chopping, and we back with another haircut video. Check it out, man. As you can see, my man's got a lot of hair on top. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this is actually my first time cutting his hair. However, I do know this man is my man Jordan the jeweler. He's the one that actually made my Tank be chopping piece. So when y'all see my Tank be chopping piece, this is the man that made it. But as y'all can see, man, he ain't had a haircut in a minute. He's obviously been busy. He was going to another barber, but for whatever reason, he hit me up and said, "Hey Tank, can I come through today?" I said, "You know what? Let's make it happen." So basically what we're gonna be doing is, he just told me he wanted it shorter on top, take the beard down, and then give him a low fade. So that's basically what we're doing, man. I'm freehanding the top just because I didn't know exactly how short he wanted it. So later on I am gonna go a little shorter, but as you can see here, guys, I'm just freehanding the top. I am using that wall magic clip. If you're interested in this tool, you can go to wallpro.com and use my discount code TANK15, or you can go to fwbarbersupply.com and use my discount code TANK10. But as y'all can see, we just shaping the top a little bit, giving it a little bit of shape, taking our time. You know, a lot of people have trouble with freehanding, you know, froze and stuff like that, but I honestly, for me, it's not hard. It just takes me a little longer because, you know, there's no guards. I got to make sure it's all even. So it's not harder. It just takes me a little more time. But nonetheless, man, as you can see, we're getting that shape on top, nice and, you know, nice and round the way we want it to look. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start to comb out the sides. And just some FYI, guys, I did comb out pick out the top, but I didn't record it. But nonetheless, man, as you can see here, we're debulking the sides. You know how your boy does it, man. This is my number 4 guard, and all I'm doing is debulking this area, clearing it out a little bit, just so I have, you know, a cleaner canvas to work with. It's not super messy, and it's not hard for me to see what's going on. And I feel good. A 4 is a good guard to use for debulking because I can basically blend a number 4 into whatever length on top. So that's what I'm doing here, is using that 4 guard. And with this texture of hair, as you can see, I'm floating my clipper a little bit, and that's just to help blend that hair into this curlier, longer hair, right? So that's why I'm using that floating method with my number 4 guard. And then once that is done, typically I go under it with a number 3 guard, but for this particular haircut, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So I think I've showed y'all this technique before, but y'all gonna see it here in a minute once we get there. Alright, so now that we got everything down to number 4, I'm taking my 1.5 guard lever closed, and I'm coming right below that using a flick out motion. Once again, as y'all can see, I'm floating my clipper the closer I get to that number 4 guard. And the reason why I'm using my 1.5 guard is because after this, I'm gonna use clipper over comb. And for me, my 1.5 guard blends really well into me doing clipper over comb work. So, you know, with this longer hair, I figured that would work well with this texture of hair, and it did. And a lot of people don't do clipper over comb when it comes to like curly hair like this, but you know, I think it works well. You can do it on any texture hair as long as you understand what you're doing and know how to do clipper over comb. So now that we got that 1.5 guard right below that 4 guard, what I'm doing here is I'm gonna go ahead and bottom out. This is the Wall High Vis trimmer, one of the best trimmers in the game right now. You can argue with me all you want, you can say what you want in the comments. I'm just letting y'all know that this trimmer does hit, and it does work really well. Once again, if you want to purchase this, wallpro.com, discount code TANK15, or fwbarbersupply.com, discount code TANK10. And since we are doing a low fade, you know, we want to make sure that we're coming up above the ear and then dropping it below the occipital bone in the back. And that's how I do my low fades, right? All my low fades are done like this, unless they specifically tell me they do not want it to look like that. But that's just the way I've always done my low fades. I've always dropped it below that occipital bone in the back, kept it really low, and then just blended up into the bulk. And I think that's a true low fade, at least in my eyes, right? But now what I'm doing here is I'm following this up with the shaver. This is the Babyliss FX1 shaver. And we're just taking it up to that line, and the closer we get to that line, we are relieving pressure and using a slight flick out motion. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You know, I'm gonna do some clipper over comb work, and y'all gonna see it here. Y'all gonna see the shape and this blend actually start to look better, right? So anything longer than my comb, I'm making sure I cut off. However, if you're paying attention here, I'm going up with the clipper instead of, you know, coming in sideways. And the reason for that is, For me, it helps it blend a little easier. It leaves a softer blend. It's not too blunt with the cut. When I come across, sometimes it can be a blunt cut, and it's hard for me to do it on low fades. Now, if I was doing like a mid fade or a high fade, it's easier for me to come across because it's just all even all the way around. But with a low fade, you know, you got to curve the comb a lot. So that's why I tend to do it like that. But now that that is done, as y'all can see, I'm taking my clipper lever open and I'm setting in my next section, but I'm trying not to go all the way up to what I already previously did. I don't want to make this harder on myself, don't want to make more work for myself. So I'm only coming up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, giving myself enough room to work, but not too much to where I'm taking off all that hair that I already basically debulked. And now what I'm doing is I have my 1 guard lever open and I'm trying to blend into that bulk. Now, it may not blend 100%, that's fine. I can go back in and clean it up. And that's basically what I'm doing here. So this is my number 2 guard, lever open. And even though I did do some clipper over comb work, I feel when I do my 1.5 guard, my 1 guard, and then my 2 guard open, it blends really, you know, it blends pretty good, even with the clipper over comb work. As y'all can see here, it's coming together, right? So then I close my lever and I'm just coming right below that, still trying to get rid of any discrepancies, really not worrying too much about, you know, taking the hair off of the sides. I'm really thinking of just tapping up these discrepancies. And then that's the same thing I'm actually doing with my 1.5 guard. Even though I already use this 1.5 guard, I'm going back in and just cleaning up some darker areas to make sure that the blend looks nice when we're done with it. And then once that was done, I moved on to my half guard lever open, which basically makes this a 1 guard. And I'm coming right below what I did with my 1 guard open. So as you can see, it's blending pretty well. I will adjust my lever if I feel it's necessary to get that line out. And as y'all can see, it's coming together, right? And then now what I'm doing here is I'd have my clipper open, or I'm sorry, my clipper's closed, and I'm attacking that bottom line. And I will adjust my lever as needed, use some corner blending, do what I gotta do to get this bottom part of the blend to come together. And as y'all can see, that blend is looking 100% better. I'm just doing some more detail work here, some more clipper over comb work, just to make that blend come together a little more. But as y'all can see, man, that blend looks good. Obviously, it's not perfect. There are some little dark areas, but once we line him up, we can actually see where some of them darker areas fall and see what we need to go back in detail. So I don't really spend too much time detailing now. I just try to get the foundation of the cut, line them up, and then after that, I go in and, you know, do some more detail work, right? But now that I'm done with the majority of the fade, we're combing out the beard. Same thing with the beard. He told me he wanted to take it down. So I'm just brushing it out, or I'm combing it out, and I'm freehanding it a little bit. Now, I did go back later and take it down some more. However, I didn't record that part of the video, but you know, I just want y'all to know that what I'm doing here is not going to be the finished product. It is going to be a little shorter, but nonetheless, I'm showing y'all how to shape the beard with the clipper, right? Like, that's basically how you would shape it. The same way you would freehand the top is the same way you freehand the beard. And then we're going to blend in the beard. That way we have a nice transition from the dark hair on the beard to the bald line, the bald skin fade to the, you know, the curly hair on top. And then as you can see here, we're lining up my man with the high vis trimmer. And y'all really gonna see this high vis trimmer in work now. And as you can see, we got that nice sharp line behind the beard. We're gonna hit that C cup, give him a nice sharp curve. And I know some of y'all are probably gonna say like, hey, this is a pushback while you're pushing your client back. But bro, like when you do lineups, bro, every lineup is technically a pushback. You have to push the hair back a little bit to get a straight line. If you're not pushing the hair back, you're not edging them up. You're not giving them a nice straight line, right? So you have to push the hair back a little bit when you're doing edge ups. And that's just the fact of the situation. A lot of people say, oh, don't push back. Yeah, I get it, bro. Don't push it back a lot, but you have to push it back so that you have a sharp line, right? And I'm not saying like dig into their hairline. I'm not saying create a whole new hairline. All I'm saying is you're gonna have to push some parts of that hairline back to make sure that it's nice and it's a nice line, right? But nonetheless, man, as you can see here, we're lining up the mustache on my client, making sure we have a nice line. Then we're gonna move on to the front edge up, and y'all know how your boy does it. I start off in the middle, set in my guideline, and then I work my way over to the side that is blended. So now I'm going once that is done, we're gonna hit that vertical bar, and then y'all really gonna see how this fade popped a little more, and we'll really be able to see what I need to go back in and clean up some more. And if you're paying attention, man, the lineup just does so much for the haircut. Like once that lineup is in there, the haircut looks so much cleaner. And that's why I tell y'all, man, lineups are important. Yes, the haircut, the fade is important, but when it comes to the quality of the blend, sometimes once you put that line in there, you can see the blend better, and it makes the haircut pop out and actually look better, right? But you know, I put that line in there, went in, did a little bit of detail work, and then I was going back in and re-edging them up because there was a little bit of overhang that I wanted to take care of. So that's basically what's going on here. But check out that blend, man. That blend is popping, at least in my eyes. You know, that thing was looking on point. So we're moving on to the opposite side. Obviously, as y'all can see here, I didn't record me fading this side of the haircut, but you are seeing me freehand the beard, and y'all are gonna see how I did this beard and how I shaped it before, you know, before anything else. So nonetheless, man, we're just cleaning it up, trying to make this side match the opposite side. And then once this is done, we're gonna fade the beard in and then line my man up to match the opposite side, trying to mirror the opposite side of this haircut, right? That's the whole point of, you know, symmetry and making sure that the haircut is looking nice on both sides. It has to match up. If one side is higher, then it's not gonna look right. If one side is lower, it's not gonna look right. So you gotta try to make both sides match. Like obviously, they're not gonna match 100%. I understand that, I get that, but for the most part, they should be pretty close, you know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't be able to see and automatically know like, oh, one side's higher than the other, you know, like it shouldn't be like that. And I understand it may happen every so often, but for the most part, you wanna make sure both sides, you know, are pretty identical. As y'all can see, now we're hitting that C cup. Making sure we got a nice curve on this side also. And as you can see, man, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I think this haircut came out great. It's probably one of my favorite haircuts to do. It's not the easiest per se, but I think I did a great job, you know, on this haircut. But check it out, man. We lining them up, making this side match the opposite side. Excuse my hat for being in the way. I thought I had a good angle, and honestly, it would have been a good angle if I wouldn't have gotten in the way, right? But nonetheless, man, we finishing off this lineup. We're gonna hit this vertical bar here in a minute. Make sure everything is on point. And y'all ain't gonna see me do the razor. I didn't press record. I've been slacking, man. I've been messing up. I didn't press record. I apologize for that. But nonetheless, man, this haircut's coming together. As you can see, now we're just lining them up, finishing off, you know, this part of the blend. I'm sorry, the edge up part of this haircut. Taking our time, making sure we get those lines nice and sharp. And then like I told y'all earlier, guys, he did want me to take the top down a little more. So we're taking it down a little more. And that's the thing too, man. Sometimes I tend to not take off enough hair because I'd rather leave it longer than what you want and then go back in and take off more than to take off more from the jump. If I take off too much from the start, I can't put hair back on. But if I leave it a little longer, if I have to go back in and take some more off, I can always take more off each time, right? Like I can't put hair back, but I can continue to cut hair down. So that's my method. That's my thought on that. I know some people will say, nah, you can't do that. You should know exactly what length they want. But hey, man, sometimes people don't know exactly what length they want, man. Like, so I mean, that's me though. Everybody's entitled to their own way of running their business. I'm just saying, me, if my client says they want me to take some off the top, I'm gonna take a little bit off, and if we got to go back and take more, we're gonna take more. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure my clients appreciate it because it's rare that I go too short. You know what I'm saying? Because I always just take off a little bit at a time. But nonetheless, man, we freehanding the top once again, trying to get it all ready to go. I believe we already put the razor on this, man. No enhancements, but y'all check it out, man. This is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. Remember, guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbechopping.com. You can book there. Also, if you want any discount on tools, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com and use my discount code TANK10. But yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this cut. Like I said, I think I got down. I think it's a great transformation. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Let's get active, man. Let's talk about it. But YouTube, I greatly appreciate y'all for rocking with me through this video. And that's basically it, guys. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go.